This technique will fool anyone. You can get the look of real wood for a fraction of the cost. Let me show you how. Started with 2 coats of a shellac-based primer. Because my piece wasn't real wood, it was important I used an oil-based primer first to ensure the next products would adhere to the piece properly. Once the first 2 coats of primer were dry, I gave the entire dresser a scuff sand and then went in with a water-based tintable primer. This tinted primer will act as your base color for the stain, so you'll want to ensure you go with some kind of tan tone. The color and all of the products I used are listed in the caption below. Once the 2 coats of tinted primer had fully dried, it was time for the real magic to happen. Using 2 coats of gel stain to achieve this look. I applied the first layer, which is simply white, using a chip brush. The long continuous brush strokes create texture and the illusion of wood grain. As an extra step, I also used a corn brush to add more wood grain texture. This isn't a necessary step, but I do love what it adds to the piece. After allowing the first layer of stain to dry, I went in with a fresh chip brush on top with my darker stain color. I wanted a rich look, so I used the color coffee for this step. You can see through the strokes of the chip brush that we're starting to get the look of wood. I applied the stain to one section at a time and then went back in and removed any excess with a rag. I also used my chip brush to even out any spots that needed it. I only used 1 coat of the darker stain on top, but you may need more depending on the stain color that you end up going with. Once it's fully dry, you can stand back and admire the magic of the piece you just created. I've used this technique on many items around my home to save money and create the look of wood without spending a fortune. I saved hundreds of dollars from having to buy a new dresser for my space, and I love how it turned out. But do you think I should add hardware to the front of the drawers? Let me know in the comments below, and if you try this technique yourself.